So hello everyone and welcome to lesson 5 part 2 of P101 online course. This is Mario and today we're going to talk about a very interesting topic. Our cultural part is related to the art of Brazilian artist Alicia Clark. So let me introduce her and later on we're going to have some conversation topics as well. So this today we're going to talk about Legia Clark. So personally, I think that Legia is one of the most interesting contemporary Brazilian artists, and I think her work is unique in several ways. So Legia Clark, who lived from the 1920s to 1988, trained in Rio de Janeiro and Paris from the late 1940s to mid 1950s, and was a leading abstract artist at the forefront of the new concretist movement in Brazil, fostering the active participation of spectators through her works. From the late 1960s through the 1970s, she created a series of unconventional artworks in parallel to a lengthy psychoanalytic therapy, leading her to develop a series of therapeutic propositions grounded in art. Clark has become a major reference for contemporary artists dealing with the limits of conventional forms of art. Ligia has a really strong legacy here in Brazil, and recently the Museum of Modern Art, the MoMA in New York, uh, developed an exhibition for her work in a major retrospective devoted to her art. So it was the first comprehensive exhibition of her work in North America. Unfortunately, I think it lasted from May through to August 2000 this year 2014. So I don't know how if that exhibition will go over to other places, but we'll usually have some exhibitions of her work here in Brazil. All right. So I have personally studied her work in my personal art history lessons, and I think one of the most interesting works of her, it's a series of works that deal with this unconventional participation, active participation of spectators. So, for example, here we have one of her called Bichos, so one of her animals, which are a series of these metal made works designed in a way that the spectators, so the visitors, can play with, can touch those objects, being part of her artwork. Here we have another example of her, one of her bichos. All right. So I think it's really nice if we sometimes actually the museums don't allow visitors to touch those objects, which is really bad. But I think in the case of the MoMA, the visitors were allowed to play with them. And here I have the background image of her exhibition. So Alicia Clark here, The Abandon of Art. So this was her exhibition in the MoMA, the exhibition of her work at MoMA this year, earlier this year. So please take a look at her works, search on some Brazilian websites, international websites. Some museums have a really great collection of works, and MoMA also has some interesting publications and its website, so please take a look at Ligia Clark. Alright? I think we're going to talk about her again later in the course, and I will also be able to present you some other great Brazilian artists. I personally really like Ligia's work, so please take a look at it. Alright? So now that we've seen our cultural aspect of lesson 5, then we need to go on, unfortunately, and take a look at the conversation topic of the week. So again, here we have two people, alright, A and B. So if you have a friend with you, you can practice this. And I will first speak it all in Portuguese, and then I will translate it, and then we do it again. Alright? So let's start. A and B, alright? I will do both. Olá, tudo bem? Sim, e você? Também. Você pode me ajudar? Claro. Como posso ajudá-lo? Gostaria de comprar um livro para minha professora. Eu recomendo o livro do Machado. Quanto custa o livro? O livro custa R$ 29. Ah, então vou comprá-lo. Alright? So here. Olá, tudo bem? Hello, how are you? Yes, and you? Sim, e você? Me too. Can you help me? Você pode me ajudar? Of course. Claro. How can I help you? Como posso ajudá-lo? I would like to buy a book for my teacher. Gostaria de comprar um livro para minha professora. Here we should notice the feminine, alright, with a, so that's why we have this possessive pronoun with the feminine article a, alright. Here we don't have the feminine article, that's one book, that's because book is masculine. Then I recommend I recommend Machado's book. Eu recomendo o livro do Machado. Alright, Machado, here is Machado de Assis, alright, greatest Brazilian writer, alright, and we will certainly definitely talk about him later on. Then, how much is it? How much is the book? Quanto custa o livro? O livro custa R$ 29. The book is 29 reais. So here we usually would omit this, alright? So we will just say custa R$ 29, alright? So, and here also in this first one, instead of saying quanto custa o livro, we would say o livro custa quanto? So our voice intonation would mark that we are asking a question, alright? O livro custa quanto? Custa R$ 29. So I will buy it. Então vou comprar. Alright? So I think you should exercise this with a colleague, and please play back my speaking portion of it so you can get the actual speaking accent, alright, from a native student. So this was our short part 2 of lesson 5. We've talked about Ligia Clark, and this is our conversation topic as well. So thank you very much for watching P101 online course. Thank you very much.